What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I'm going to be running through 3 combos for DDD. And honestly, DDD is one of the reasons why I don't want NeedleFiber to be banned, or Halqifibrax, whatever you would call it, because it's not always the same thing. Like, it does have a pretty cool application, but I guess the combo is pretty degenerate. In any case, it's pretty cool that DDDs can do this. Now, what you'll need for this combo... One second, I'll show you when it's all done. So right here, this is the ultimate combo. Not always easy to get in your hand, obviously, but all of these are run at 3 of, so I mean, it's not impossible. So you need a DD, Savant Kepler, a Necro Slime, a Lamia, and a Swirl Slime. So if you have all of these, you're going to activate Swirl Slime from the hand, Fusion Summon with Necro Slime. That gives you your Flame King Genghis. Activate Swirl Slime from the graveyard. It's always optimal to never use Lamia until the last second, so you're just trying to find different ways to get it back on the field, which you do. You'll see. Since Lamia was special summoned, that activates Flame King Genghis. That can bring you back your Necro Slime. Use those two to synchro summon for the first time DDD Gus King Alexander. And then you just link those two off into a Cross Sheep. Then you can activate Necro from the graveyard, banishing itself and Flame King Genghis for Flame High King Genghis. Make sure you put it in the zone that Cross Sheep points to. That's going to trigger Cross Sheep. Special summon your Lamia back, again, without using its effect. That triggers Flame High. Bring back your Gust. Then you can, since you have a tuner and a non-tuner, that lets you go into NeedleFiber. NeedleFiber can grab you your Ghost. And since the DD was special summon, that triggers DDT Gus King Alexander. Bring back your Lamnia again. Still haven't used the effect, keep that in mind. And then you can Synchro Summon up into a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, so there's your first form of interruption. Then you can use those two to link summon DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh, which just came out this year, if I'm not mistaken. That also triggers Ghost, so it's just chain blocking. Lets you dump another Lamia into the graveyard, but it's not that important, but it is a good chain blocker. Then you're going to specifically put DDD Abyss Ragnarok and DDD Chaos Apocalypse in the zones. You can use the effect to banish 2. That lets it special summon itself. And since Ghost was banished, that lets you put 1 back into the graveyard. That's you're going to put DDD Flame High King Genghis back in the graveyard. It's actually important that you do that. Then you can finally use Lamia's effect, special summon itself. And since a DD was special summon, that triggers Abyss King, or a Ragnarok, I should say, Abyss Ragnarok. Most of the DD monsters have the effect to reborn themselves. And that one that we put back, you're going to special summon. Then you can synchro summon again, and you're locked into DDDs at this point. Then obviously you go into DDD Curse King Siegfried. So I know what you're thinking. This may be a pretty unassuming board. It's a monster negate and a spell negate. I think it's spell or trap, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, 1 face-up spell or trap. Not that it would maybe evenly matched. That's a good, anti-evenly matched, even. But it gets a lot better than this. So now you're not locked into DDDs. You can trigger your Crystron Halqifibrax. Special summon a Synchron, draw 1. That's pretty cool, but that is not the ultimate reason you're doing this. Then you can use the effect to Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn, using that Siegfried. Going into Satellite Warrior, that pops 3. You're still not done yet. That triggers Cross Sheep. You can bring back the formula. Synchro Summoning to your opponent's turn is not a once per turn. Then you can use those. And obviously Synchro Summon Torborlode Savage. Equipping the DDD Gilgamesh. And there you go. Pretty honestly unstoppable board. Obviously Dark Ruler no more beats it, but that's the case for most. That's insanely hard to stop, popping 3. So let's say they're like, okay, I'll just go to the end phase maybe. Nah, you Synchro Summon, pop 3, and then you Synchro Summon again for two interruptions, 1 Omni Negate, and a monster negate. So, and if somehow they have a board, obviously it's pretty much going to get wiped out. So that's if everything goes right. This is a random one, but it is one. If you have a Savant, Copernicus, I'm pretty sure it's called. If you have a Copernicus, a Swirl Slime, and a Necro Slime in your hand, that's actually another combo, if you can believe that. Very similar to last time, you're going to activate Swirl, send Necro, go into Genghis, activate Swirl from the graveyard, special summon Savant. Savant triggers, which also triggers Flame King. Special summon that back. That lets you dump a Savant Kepler off of Savant. Then you can go into Cross Sheep, obviously. Fusion summon again, same thing. That lets you go into Flame High King. That triggers Cross Sheep. Then it lets you special summon your Savant Kepler, and it's normal or special summon, which makes it a really good card, obviously. Search the Dark Contract. Search. That lets you get a Ghost, actually. This is a very unique combo, to say the least. Normal summon, if you can believe we haven't normal summoned yet. DD Ghost. Synchro summon all three of those for Gust King. Back to Ghost. Then you have a tuner and a non-tuner. Let you go in the NeedleFiber. NeedleFiber will finally get your Lamia. Since DD was special summoned, that triggers Gust King. Bring back the Ghost again. Then you can go into Union Carrier and DDD Gilgamesh. That lets you put it in the pen zone. You can once again chain block with Ghost, obviously. Lamnia triggers. And since you finally use that effect, that also triggers Ragnarok. You can special summon this Gust King back. And that lets you go into Siegfried. Then you can equip a Destruction Sword here. And again, not an extremely assuming board necessarily, but that lets you go into Formula, tag out, draw one. And you can synchro summon to your opponent's turn if they haven't just like quit already because they can't go to the extra deck. A lot of times that's enough. Plus this is like a 4,000 attack monster nearly. So, and let's say they put a bunch of face towns and you're looking to end you can go into Satellite Warrior again. Or you can sneak, I think there's room in the extra deck for like one more synchro. So if you don't want to use the Siegfried, you want to use like whatever else you can pen summon, you can do that too. So this is a really simple combo. All you need is Kepler. And you can search, obviously. That lets you get your other piece. So this is, you need Kepler, you need Necro, or you need Swirl Slime, and you need Lamia. Activate from the hand. Send the Lamnia and that. That gives you your Flame King Genghis. Trigger Lamnia early this time, actually. So, obviously, that triggers Flame King. Can bring back the Swirl Slime. Use those two to link off. Use Kepler and your Swirl Slime to link off into Artifact Dagda. And then use the remaining two DD monsters that go into Abyss King Gilgamesh. Again, you're going into it early, unlike the other combos. Trigger both. Lets you set your Artifact Lancia. And you're going to put into your zone specifically DD Orthos and DD Savant Thomas. Trigger Thomas. Send the Kepler back to your hand. Then you can use the effect of DD Orthos to destroy 2 cards. Which kind of seems terrible, but it's so you can free that zone up for your Savant Kepler. Lets you pen summon your Savant Thomas back. Savant Thomas can destroy and special summon a Ragnarok. That lets you go into your DDD King Kali Yuga. And obviously I already had this in my hand, so I'm just going to set it. I didn't even need to do that. That was unnecessary. But obviously the idea is your opponent literally does anything. That'll trigger off your Kali Yuga. So that'll trigger both of them. So your opponent can't go to the extra deck or use their graveyard, which is pretty much a turn stopper against, like, I don't know, 90% of decks. And that's the idea behind that. Next turn, you just go in for lethal. So those are 3 of the combos. There was one that just turned out Kali Yuga, which just wasn't very interesting, but it's honestly pretty linear in my opinion. But it is really cool. Obviously, the end board is very unique, especially when you're using NeedleFiber for normal Needle Fighter stuff. So there's none of that other shenanigans in there. So you guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Other than that, guys, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.